so excited to have my sister on, man. She is the former executive director of the National Action Network and award-winning civil rights activist. Please welcome Until Freedom founder Tamika Mallory. Man, we doing good. I'm just waiting on you to put out another one of those powerful videos. I know your Instagram, your Facebook is popping because your videos are so powerful, and you just like you go straight to the soul when you speak.
I appreciate that. You know, it's funny. Like I was telling people that I really had no intention of going viral. I didn't even sit down and prepare my words on the day when I spoke in Minneapolis. I was just a black woman in rage.
Right.
And, you know, I guess that's what came across, and it articulated the rage of many other people across the world. And here we are.
Absolutely. Right. And first and foremost, thank you for all of your hard work on Breonna Taylor case and everything you and your team has done to bring justice to her family. Now, where does the Attorney General stand on bringing charges to the officers on this case?
Well, the Attorney General, I'm sure, and his new wife are really upset this morning because on yesterday, some of the senior citizens, and when I say senior, I'm talking about, you know, our real elderly and vulnerable population, went and sat on their lawn. They took a page out of Until Freedom's book, and they went and sat on their lawn with signs saying that they were seniors for Breonna Taylor, and all of them were white seniors. And I know that the level of embarrassment that's being brought to his community is probably not something that he's happy about. But it has to be done. Ricky, it's now 5 months later. 5 months later. And still, you know, they're playing the game of, oh, well, I don't have this report and I don't have the ballistics report. Anything that they can do to try to push this thing to a place where people forget about it and sort of, you know, sweep it under the rug, or where they're able to come out and announce that they're not going to indict the officers and not have to deal with the backlash of the community. And the other thing that they're doing at the same time that many people don't understand or don't know about is the rules that they're changing in Louisville, Kentucky, where if you march in the street, you can be arrested on site. I watched it happen the other day. They instituted the rule on a Friday, and by Saturday afternoon, when young folks were out there protesting, they were literally picking people up, picking them off the street, locking them up. They, you know, are trying a bunch of intimidation tactics, including a leaked memo that Until Freedom received, and I've posted it on my social media, where they have called for all officers to come to work on Tuesday, August 25th, when Until Freedom will be leading a march with local organizers here. And they are saying that they're coming to respond to our march. They literally named us in this memo, 2 other officers. Since we've been here, they've been, I've had helicopters over the house, helicopters following us as we do work in the community. So that's been their response. The response has been surveillance for nonviolent protesters. The response has been looking for excuses not to do their job. And, you know, they did meet with the family, in which Attorney Ben Crump, and Attorney Lanita Baker have said that they did not feel that Daniel Cameron was completely soulless, but they still didn't get an answer for when there would be justice in this case. So we're still here fighting because just a meeting with pleasantries is not enough.
Well, Tamika, we heard that we know that you, along with Portia and Yandy, were arrested for protesting outside of the Attorney General's home. There were reports that said that your charges were increased to felonies, but then possibly dropped. Where does that stand now, and how do you feel about that?
So the felony charge was dropped. However, it didn't just happen because someone in the police department or in the local government was just being kind. What happened, because God, you know what God does, just shows up every time somebody's trying to do us wrong.
Yes.
Attorney Lee Merritt came to me and said, hey, you should check out this footage. This was after we received the felony. It was the next day. And he said, you need to check out this footage of when white supremacists went to the governor's house, went on his lawn, and hung an effigy of the governor, his face on it, a dummy body, from the tree. They had a mock lynching on a tree on the governor's property, and nobody, not only did they not get a felony, they weren't even arrested at all.
Wow.
But they arrested us for singing "We Shall Overcome" on Daniel Cameron's lawn. And so when we started putting that out on social media, the next thing you know, they said, well, we stand by the charges, but in the spirit of, freedom of speech and us trying to work together, we're going to drop the felony. We still have other open charges. And that, again, when you think about how they're now calling for police officers to come to work, all of them coming back from vacation, they've done an all hands on deck. We have no idea what's going to happen on Tuesday, but what we do know is that we're going to be on these streets for justice for Breonna Taylor.
Yeah, Speaking about being on the streets, this weekend in Louisville, you've dubbed it BreonnaCon. It's a weekend full of community activities and events for her. So tell us all about that.
Yeah, so, one of the things that I think is so important, and Until Freedom, we are a very strategic group of organizers, if I may say so myself. While we understand the importance of protest, we stand by protesters, and we will be the first ones on the ground. We also understand that we have to be able to turn the pain that we exhibit in the street into power. And so BreonnaCon is an opportunity for us to talk about Breonna's law, which has been passed in Louisville, Kentucky, but now it needs to pass across the state. Representative Attica Scott is one of the leading legislators to get that done. That is the ban on no-knock warrants. And we all know that, or we should know at this point, that a application for a no-knock warrant where Officer Joshua James lied is what is at the center of how Breonna Taylor was killed. Her home was basically invaded by officers who knocked but did not announce themselves when asked who were they on the other side of the door. And so that no-knock warrant is at the center of this. BreonnaCon will help us to really get the community involved and make sure that the community is aware of this law and how important it is for them to contact their legislators and push their local leaders to pass that legislation.
Hey, Tamika,
so we have all types. Yeah.
Tamika, hold on. You got extra time. I'm gonna bring you in on the other side where you can have more time because I don't want to rush any of this. This is so important.
Yes.
Sure. I'm here.
Yeah, absolutely. More Tamika Mallory coming up next. Rick Smiley Morning Show. All right, Rick Smiley Morning Show, 25 minutes after the hour, y'all. This segment's being brought to you by America's Best. That's right. Your health is our priority. America's Best contacts and eyeglasses stores are now open to safely serve your vision needs and not just a better deal. It's America's Best. We got the one and only Tamika Mallory on with us this morning. Activist, sister. We up there fighting for to make sure that Breonna Taylor's death is not in vain. And we just glad to have you on the show. We appreciate everything that you do and sacrifice yourself, went to jail, everything. I'm happy and excited to be with you on Monday with Pastor Jamal Bryant. Thank you for allowing me to just come and protest and just support the cause. If people want more information on BreonnaCon, where can they go?
They should go to untilfreedom.com. That's untilfreedom.com. There's limited space in some of these places because of COVID. So if you want to come to the activities, you really need to go and register today. And we're excited about the event that you are going to be here for on Monday at 7 p.m. It's Praise in the Park, Praise on the Water. Jamal Bryant will be preaching. He's going to bring down the house. And that is outside. So as many people who want to attend should come. We know folks have already been really excited to find out that the two of you will be in town. So that's a Monday at 7 p.m. and it's untilfreedom.com. So if it's okay if I go back and talk more about the weekend.
Absolutely.
Great. So, our at the core of the organizing within Until Freedom, we believe that when we go into a community, it's not just protest. It's got to be also helping to organize in that community and community service. Last week, we gave out 2,000 boxes of produce and to the community with the Louisville Urban League, and we're doing that again on tomorrow morning at 9 a.m. at the Louisville Urban League. Again, that information is available at untilfreedom.com. But immediately following, there will be women's empowerment events. You know, we have all our friends coming in this weekend. Yandy Smith-Harris will be here. Portia Williams, they're coming back. You know, we're not the folks that people come in and get arrested and get their photo opportunity and not come back to the community. All of the folks who were arrested have been back. Kenny Stills has been back. Irv Rowland has been back. We have continuously come into this community and tried to be a part, a good neighbor, if you will. And so Saturday will be empowerment events. Men empowerment events. Our brother Myson and also Trader Truth and a number of other black men will be getting together. They said that when we were in jail, there were 3 cells of women and only 1 cell of men, and they said that's not acceptable, and they're going to have a conversation on Saturday evening about that. Yeah, it's not. I mean, it's not. We need our brothers to stand up for us, Rickey, for sure. And then on Sunday, we're having something called BBQ. Now, in this community, in the last month, while the police are over here with their helicopter over our house, 29 people have been shot and killed, including a 3-year-old baby who we went to visit with her family just a few days ago. Actually, her service, I think, is happening this morning. And so that's what the police are spending their taxpayer resources on versus trying to help the community when folks are unemployed and violence is up. And there should be strategy where police and community is working together. They're trying to silence protesters, but that's another thing. And so on Sunday, we have BBQ, which will honor all the victims of violence, not just police violence, but any form of violence in our communities. And so that's Sunday, and there will be a concert there. Rhapsody is one of the performers, and she'll be coming down. And then on Monday, we'll be focusing all day on Breonna's Law. We will have a national press conference and opening session at 11 o'clock in the morning where Sabrina Fulton, Trayvon Martin's mother, George Floyd's family, Ahmaud Arbery's family, Tatiana Jefferson's family, and so many others will be coming together. Attorney Lee Merritt, Attorney Ben Crump, the Antoine Rose's family. These are all people who have been victims of police brutality, their family members, but they will be coming together to talk about Breonna's Law and the importance of passing that legislation across the state of Kentucky. And one of the things we found out yesterday is that Virginia has introduced Breonna's Law, and Pennsylvania has also done it. So we're moving across the nation with what is happening right here in Louisville, Kentucky. And so all of that, policy panels and discussions will be going on Monday during the day. And then in the evening, Praise in the Park, of which, again, you and Jamal Bryant will be here. And then on Tuesday, we march. Regardless of the intimidation tactics, we will be in the street, and we are specifically focusing. Usually we don't tell folks. They find out when we get to the location. But in this case, we want everybody in Louisville to show up. We're going to be marching on the LMPD training facility where these individuals are getting the training that is turning into people being killed in our communities. And so, again, you can go to untilfreedom.com. All the information is there. And if you can't find something you want to know, or you're a local Louisville resident who says, I'm an organizer and I need to be involved, send an email right now to organizing@untilfreedom.com. We will get it, call you back, and get you involved.
Hey, everybody in Cincinnati, all surround, y'all know it's the Tri-City Cincinnati. I know y'all gonna come down to Louisville. Everybody in 317 Indianapolis, where y'all at? Everybody, Nashville, come on up. Or what other surrounding areas? This is a national cause, because if they could do this to Breonna Taylor and get away with it, they probably could do it to anybody. Anybody in the country, and it's hurtful. Right. It's sad. I'm listening to you talking. I just got like tears in my eyes. I just really admire you, and I take my hat off to you to see sisters stand up for Breonna Taylor, everything, all of the what the NBA and the WNBA is doing, and this is serious. And because that could have been your daughter, that could have been your niece, that could have been your family member to have to, to go through this and bury.
And it could be us. It could be you
us.
or me.
Absolutely.
That's right.
Absolutely.
That's right. I mean, when you think about the fact that Breonna Taylor really did nothing wrong, with every other case, they find something. Sandra Bland was too loud. She had an attitude. Philando Castile had a gun in the car. This one had a cell phone. This one had a beeper. They come up with something. In this case, have you heard, Ricky? Maybe I missed it. There's been no reason, period, for why Breonna Taylor was murdered in her home.
Right. Sleep. In the bed, sleep. I don't understand it. Tamika, you can come on this show anytime. You use this platform. People all over the country love you and support you, and we appreciate everything that you're doing and standing up for Breonna Taylor. And real quick though, what is it looking like in the polls with trying to get Mitch McConnell out of office in this upcoming election?
Well, you always get me in trouble because you always ask me a question where I got to tell the truth. I've been out canvassing these communities up and down, back and forth, and, because we've been canvassing, trying to make sure that people know about our efforts here and engaging the community, as organizers. And I'm an old school organizer. I got my organizing style from Reverend Al Sharpton, that you cannot just put something on social media and think that that's going to move the masses. You got to go knock on folks' doors. Right. And as I've been out there, we've been talking to people, just asking them where they are. And unfortunately, in my judgment, the Democratic Party is not doing enough. If they want to win, they need to do more, because I don't see the signs that need to be out there. People haven't been knocking on doors. There has to be much more work done. And hopefully Amy McGrath and others are working really hard to try to flood these streets as soon as they can, because we've been out there and it is not enough, in my judgment, happening to move people. And that's not just in terms of Mitch McConnell. That's from the top to the bottom. More work has to be done.
All right, y'all, this segment's being brought to you by My Computer Career. That's right. If you don't absolutely love what you do, go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation today and become an information technology professional in as little as 4 months. That's mycomputercareer.edu. Ladies and gentlemen, y'all, show your love, and thank you so much, Tamika Mallory, for joining us. And you're welcome to come anytime. Tamika Mallory, y'all.